Welcome to Girl Choose Yourself, where we're trading self-doubt for self-trust and settling for soaring. I'm Emer Zone, your host, and together we're building the confidence to create lives so deliciously bold that they scare us a little, but in the best possible way. Because life's too precious to stay cozy in our comfort zones. It's time to choose ourselves for lives that are fabulous and soulfully fulfilling. So let's go. Hi, and welcome to the podcast. I am your host, Emer Zone, and today I'm sort of storytelling. I want to tell you about something that happened yesterday. So yesterday evening, I did something that my former self would never have done, and that actually I thought I would not ever do. It was just after like 7 o'clock, and I wasn't sick. There was nothing wrong. I wasn't planning an early night or anything. I was just kind of done. I was sort of finished. So I put on my PJ bottoms and I was kind of flopped on the sofa with my book, ready to just curl up. And then my husband called over from the kitchen and asked whether I'd hop in the car with him to go run an errand. And I just looked down at my PJs, this kind of old pair of J. Crew checked PJs that I think I bought about 5 or 6 Christmases ago. You know, it's that pattern. And I was like, oh, I just can't be arsed to go change them. So I said, yeah, sure, I'm ready. Jumped up. He kind of looked at me like, and then he said, are you sure you won't be cold? And I was like, do you know what? No, I'm fine. Fuck it. So I get into the car in my PJs, just threw on a jacket and off we go. Now, it's like a minor thing. I used to like have a look at people who'd be out and about in their PJs and going like, what the hell? Like, why aren't you dressed? Why aren't you fully dressed? And sometimes you'd see it sort of kids being dropped off by parents in the morning and you were like, oh, I get it. I get that. But like at all times of the day, and I was saying, I'm never doing that. And it's kind of a young person look at the moment because I go up to my kids' school and I see them in sort of these kind of fleecy pull-on bottoms that are like, okay, they look like PJs to me, but my daughter explains that that's just the look. But anyway, I didn't get out of the car and I thought, yeah, that's fine. Super cozy. Anyway, if you know me, you know that I really like clothes. Like I love clothes. Like I've spent years sort of enjoying clothes and kind of worshipping at the altar of the always elusive sort of signature statement piece that would make my wardrobe work for me. Still working on that one. But anyway, here I was, you know, very nice and comfortable out and about. But when I came back that evening and I was sitting down, I decided, do you know what? Because I have a very good friend who's probably listening to this, who will get into her loungewear, her like PJs, like quite early in the evening. And I'm like, oh, okay. Not something I do, but that's kind of a decision. So I post this question on TikTok and I ask other women, particularly I'm speaking to Gen X women and say, hey, like I'm here on the sofa at 7 o'clock at night wearing my PJs like at 7. That's a bit early, isn't it? Like, tell me I'm not the only one. And oh my God, that simple. Like I'm not normally on TikTok. I just have a coach and she told me you should post on TikTok. And I went, right. And I'm just doing what I was told. But right now, and I'm just kind of opening my phone to have a look at this, if I even know how to. Yeah, so it's like almost 25,000 people looking at that and hundreds of people interacting with it. Loads of women. And what I discovered is that there's a whole full-blown like pajama nation, like a whole tribe, women proudly declaring that they change into their PJs like as soon as they walk in the door at home. Like others are describing these very well-defined rituals of, you know, I work out, then I shower, then it's dinner, then PJs, or it's I stay in my regular clothes just until my partner comes home so that he gets to see me in my day clothes. And then it's like PJs. Like it's like 5 minutes go, hi, honey. And then they're off to put on their PJs. There were people describing daytime PJs, like garden PJs for gardening, and then like kind of answer the door pants. Like it's a whole thing. One of my favorite comments was, as soon as I get home, I'm almost 46, I don't have the time or energy to be uncomfortable anymore. It was like comfort first. And that was it. Like it's this quiet sort of revolution happening under the radar. And there was lots of people saying, oh, I'm so pleased that I found my tribe in the comments here, or I found my people. And it wasn't about pajamas. It was about women being done with discomfort and saying, no, I'm just going to be comfortable. I'm going to do it my way. Some people were like going, what do you mean change into your pajamas? When did we change out of them? It reminded me of that comment from, friends Ross and Rachel, where Ross says, you're over me. When were you under me? And it's the same like with this PJs. Like, when are you getting out of your PJs? Like, I'm in my PJs all the time. Or sometimes I'll change the top so that I look, if I'm on Zoom and whatever, but I'm wearing PJs underneath, or for the bottom half. And it really came across in the comments were that women were really done performing for anyone, done running on empty, done living by these invisible standards of the way that we should always look, that we should look polished, pulled together, perfectly presentable. It was real, like, I'm just going to do it my way. I'm just going to be comfortable. People talking about getting in the door at like 1 o'clock. People start work at all different types of jobs, obviously at all different times. And then they're saying, no, like as soon as I get in, like I'll open it right now and it's live and it's still buzzing with people talking. Somebody here commented, you're supposed to change out of your pajamas. So many people saying that. And loads of people saying as soon as I walk in the door. And then my comment being 7 p.m. People are calling me out for it. Like, that's a bit late. Like, that's very late. And people being in their PJs all day unless they have to be on camera. And there's a whole load of people who are kind of celebrating how early that they get into their PJs and they're kind of moving into that comfort. It really is the comfort zone. And people have all sorts of cute words and phrases for it. And this made me think as well about returning to work in the office, because there's a lot of talk about that. And there's some big companies who have really pressurized people to return to the office. And when you look at the data, it doesn't really hold up about the benefits of that. There was some recent research that showed that women consistently report higher productivity and well-being with flexible or hybrid schedules. Over 60% say that flexibility is key to their performance and their mental health. Like, some people described like working from home, or lots of self-employed people with their own schedules, and they're working from their bed. Like, I could not do this, but they're calling their bed their command center. They're there in their PJs and they're running multiple six-figure businesses from their goddamn bed. Like, all right, girl, you go, girl. Amazing. But it doesn't have to be a six-figure business or anything like that. It is just this sense that I really got of this reclamation of rest and of comfort, and doing it for yourself, and no more compliance with this idea of it should be a certain way, or I should look or be a certain way. And I called out for Gen X women in this post, but that's not everybody. There were boomer women. There were millennials going, hey, can I join in? It's 3:45 and I've just come home from work and I'm in my PJs. I'm still trying to keep up with the comments that are coming in on that. And I really want to learn and understand like how women of all ages are, reclaiming this sense of comfort, sense of rest. And I think a lot of us perform better when we're not performing in an environment where we have to look and dress and be a certain way, than when we can control the environment and particularly make choices about being comfortable in ourselves. Like, there's so many women who were talking about, they don't even wait till they get home before they are like, the bra is off in the car. And I'm like, okay. Like, they really do not like the constraints of having to dress a certain way to do their jobs. And that, like, let's come back to clothes. Right now, as I record this, there are like 2 boxes on my living room table I love fashion. So there's been 2 deliveries of clothing in the last in as many days. One is from Burberry, which is a big gift for my birthday, which for the fucking 3rd time has arrived bloody well damaged and has to go back again. That's another story. Me and Burberry have had a little bit back and forth about that. And the other is a box from M&M, which is one of my favorite brands. It's a UK brand, female founded. And it's just like oversized jacket thing. And it's quite like smart casual sort of thing. And I love these brands, and I love the craftsmanship, and I love the quality and the whole look and the feel of stepping into your day with intention. I love to dress up, even working from home and just being on camera. If you work with me, you'll often see me. I might be wearing a jacket on camera. Like, I like nice clothes. And for me, the kind of getting dressed up is like a ritual and a ceremony. And it's how I tell myself, like, the day begins here. We're ready to begin. And pajamas for me would be the kind of end of the day sort of transition point. It really resonated for me, the number of women who were talking about they were getting their exercise in at the end of a long day, and then it was straight in, home, shower, PJs and some dinner. And it was like the PJs, that was kind of reward time, the signal now that the world can wait, like that they've given enough for the day and it's me time. I think it would be very easy for some people to say, and particularly for employers to think, that if your employee is working from home and they're in their day PJs or whatever, that they're somehow not committed enough, or they're not working hard enough, or they're not taking it seriously enough. And I think that's absolutely bollocks. It's totally not about lowering standards. It's really about defining them for yourself. And I think when somebody has that freedom and that comfort in that freedom, that they're going to perform better. And for all the women who are talking in this kind of conversation that I started on TikTok, there's no indication whatsoever that this takes away in any form from how they show up professionally and get their work done, whether they're working for somebody else and they're working from home, or they're working for themselves and that work happens in the home. This is where I'm landing on this one, is that true style isn't the outfit itself, but the alignment between how you look and how you feel. And for me, it wouldn't work to be wearing PJs in the day and doing my job like that. But for other people, it works. It feels aligned and they can show up powerfully as themselves. And that's about choice. I think I see, as I look around the world a lot, that there's still this energy of shoulds and this particular squeeze on midlife women, because there's a lot of spotlight on it now, because some very famous women are in this category now, in this generation. When you think of Jennifer Aniston and that cohort of women in the spotlight still at that age, and there's a lot of products then being targeted at midlife women. And yes, there's sort of a change from the anti-aging to the wellness longevity, but I think that's just a little marketing shift. But it's basically the same message, like keep trying to look and be a certain way so that you will be relevant. But they're kind of wrapping it up in empowerment language, just so that you'll buy it, because they have so many behavioral scientists advising them about how to get people to click buy and add to cart and all the rest of that. So I'm feeling really inspired by all these women who are in this conversation, who are sounding very much like, no, I'm just choosing myself. I don't care what clock time is. Clock time doesn't matter. As soon as I am done and I am home, and as soon as I don't have to go out and do any more errands, that's me. I'm now going into my space and creating my comfort, and I am honoring myself and I'm resting. And oh my God, these women go to bed really early. I was like, what? People celebrating being in bed, or last night I was asleep at 6:30, and I'm like, really? And I'm loving it. I'm loving this sort of celebration of rest from these women, because so often we carry this badge of honor of how busy and how productive we are or have been, and how much we have achieved and how much we ticked off our to-do list. And so many women were sharing snippets on larger parts of their stories in this conversation about, I'm whatever age now, I've done it. I've been in the workforce for however long and I'm fucking exhausted, and I've been burnt out, or I'm ill. I'm actually wearing PJs all the time. I'm in bed all the time because I'm recovering from something. And just a lot of compassion being shown as well in the conversation. But people are having many, many lived experiences, both in their personal life, in their workplace, and they are sharing this feeling that I'm like done. I'm got to look after myself. This is a way that I do that. And it's a simple, ritualistic choice of, it's just me. As soon as the sun set, it's PJ time. I'm finished with the demands of the workday, or looking after the kids, or I walked the dog was a big one. And then you can come in and kind of shower and change and have that wind down ritual. And then it's a movie or a book or being on TikTok or whatever it is, these small little pleasures. And I just thought that was pretty bloody fabulous. And I thought it was worth celebrating. And so I was kind of inspired after that to have a look online and kind of say, all of these people who are wearing PJs, like I would not have a whole load of PJs in my wardrobe. These people are wearing them a lot. So I was having a look around to look at different brands because I was inspired, and I said, oh, well, I'm going to get some new PJs at this time of year. I'm going to put them on my Christmas list. And I was looking at particularly women-founded brands, and I came across a few, and I thought, hey, I might as well share them with you. Because if you are anything like the hundreds and hundreds of women who were commenting on this conversation starter that I put in TikTok, then you might be interested in this too. So the first one that I found was like a company founded by a woman called Poppy Sexton Wainwright. And she does a lot of sort of resort wear, but she does like lounge wear and PJs. And the name of the company is Asceno, Asceno. And I'll leave these in the show notes for anyone who wants to have a look at them. It's not an affiliate link or anything. Just go have a look and enjoy. And their whole philosophy is about helping women feel relaxed, carefree, and confident. And I'm like, alrighty. So really elevated pieces for your downtime. I love them. I absolutely loved them. And I have my eye on a set there for my Christmas list. So they're a little bit more pricey, maybe a few $100s, but they're on the more expensive side. But there are other options. Another one that I really love is a brand called Eberge, and they actually have a collection that's called Cozy Time, which is just the exact language that somebody in this conversation was using, talking about that time of the day when it was almost like she was in her cocoon of self-defined sort of comfort. And so Cozy Time collection, beautiful, that kind of day PJ look. So you're not in the athleisure stuff. You're not wearing your Lululemons or your Nikes or your sweaty Betty outfit. It's something a little bit different. I think they really nailed that kind of everyday luxury. It's kind of very soft and comfortable, but with polish. So that's your thing. You should check them out. And then at a much higher level, again, there was a brand that I discovered, and the designer name the name of the brand is Olivier von Halle. Just gorgeous, gorgeous, like silk, velvet, really nice. The kind of PJs that you'll see on the front of a fashion magazine that somebody's wearing out in the street and managing to make look like day wear. So beautiful, but quite expensive. And the first brand that I looked at when I was saying, oh, I should buy myself a pair of nice PJs, all these people talking about this, I I could begin this era of the PJ era beginning at 7 p.m., but I want a nice pair of PJs. I only have like pretty not so nice stuff. And so I said, I remember years ago, I got a pair of Burberry PJs for Christmas. I'm going to look at Burberry. I nearly lost my life when I saw the price of them. It was like over $1,700. That was just for the PJ bottoms. The top was another $1,700. So I was like, no. I mean, good luck if that's money you want to spend, that you have and you want to spend. But I was like, I don't think so. They do have them in cotton for a mere $800, which is obviously such a steal. Kidding, obviously. This whole conversation had me Googling, looking at all these different brands, and I thought, yeah, I think for me, I might be upping my PJ game towards the end of this year, into the holiday season and into the new year. I was quite inspired by these women choosing comfort, choosing rest, ritualizing that time. It also felt very boundaried, what they were describing. It's like, I'm not going out after this time. I've done my errands for the day, and it's just me sort of looking after me. And some people were talking about it. I have my Epsom salt baths, you know. It was just really nourishing thinking about it. And I thought, who doesn't need a little bit more self-nourishing and letting go of this idea that we have to perform or look and be a certain way, and that somehow clock time needs to dictate when we decide it's okay to be comfortable, to rest, and to take care of ourselves in whatever way that we choose to do that. So maybe that's a shift that you're feeling too. I don't know. For decades, it feels like when you're in the rat race and working so hard and a lot of external pressure to make it and to be a success, that rest seemed like it desperately needed to be earned, and dressing was for approval. And instead now these women were talking about really just dressing for comfort, for alignment, for authenticity, to be comfortable in your own skin. And I really began to see this sort of PJ nation, this PJ movement as a really powerful choice, of a choice for presence, a choice for peace, and just letting go of any need to perform. And I just thought that was incredibly powerful. So whether you like to be in your PJs by 7, whatever you choose, like, just make it your choice for how you feel that you want and need to care for yourself. And just realizing that we don't have to be uncomfortable physically or emotionally to be impressive in any way. And yes, I will be keeping my beautiful Me and M jacket, and I will continue to pursue Burberry so that they can finally send me the correct coat. But I'm also going to invest in some new pajamas. Maybe those nice velvet ones that I saw with Aseno, I think they were. But if not, you know, an LL Bean catalogue came through the mail the other day, and I think I'll be choosing a lot more comfort and ease and alignment. So let me know your favorites. Let me know your favorite brands. I would love to know your favorite brand and what time in the evening you typically get into your PJs. And, okay, bonus, tell me when you go to bed. Until then, here's to the rise of rest and to feeling entirely, gloriously comfortable in our own skin. Take care of you. I'll talk to you next time. Bye. Thanks so much for tuning into the episode this week. I hope you got a lot out of it, and if you did, please share it with somebody who you feel would benefit, and leave a review. Always greatly appreciated. Lots of free and paid resources to take things a step further. You can find those in the show notes. And hey, if nobody's told you this yet today, you are amazing, and the world is a far more beautiful place because you're here with us all. Stay cool. Bye.